As a college student, if you could have any wish in the world, what would you wish for? Would you wish for better teachers? Would you wish for better grades? Would you wish for easier classes? Well, as a former college peer counselor, I know that a lot of college students would wish they had more time. Because let's be real, college students are more than just college students. A lot of college students are actually part of the workforce already. According to Connie Cass, a writer for the Associated Press in the USA Today on April 21st, 2011, she states that 2 out of every 3 students works to help pay for college. On top of that, students are, of course, lovers. According to Amanda Vaughn, health educator at the University of Massachusetts, in the Daily Hampshire Gazette on September 5th, 2011, between 25% and 50% of students are in a committed relationship. And then on top of that, a lot of students are looking to get more out of their college experience than what can be found in textbooks. We know this because Maurice Ohayon, a doctor at the University of Stanford, in the American Academy of Sleep Medication on May 15, 2008, stated that 64.2% of students were all involved in extracurricular activities. So some would think that the key to success would be to have more time. However, I believe that the key to success isn't really having more time, but rather using the time that one has efficiently and wisely. In this speech, I will demonstrate how I use my time efficiently and wisely in the form of organizing my time and putting that into a planner. Specifically, we will take a look at one of my weeks, and I will plan out a week, I will put that plan into action, and then eventually, at the end of my week, I will reflect. So the first step into using a planner, of course, is to make a plan. And first, we look at all the resources available to us, whether that be on the internet with Google Calendar. I know on Macs there's the iCal, and then I bet you on some of your smartphones there's probably an application for a calendar. For the purpose of this demonstration, I have the template for an iCal set up. And specifically, we will be looking at week 2 of this past semester, starting on Sunday. So, beginning on Sunday and Sunday morning, I look at all the obligations that I have for the week, and I categorize them, with each category having a specific color. Now, the reason that I color code each category is so that I can quickly look at my planner and see how my time is going to be divided. So these categories include school in green, I have work in blue, any special events I have for the week in yellow, and then my to-do list in orange. Now that I have my categories set, I can now go into the specifics of each category and actually plan that out. So on Monday and Wednesday, I have swimming at 6 a.m. There's no sun at 6 a.m., by the way. I also have step aerobics at 9 a.m. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have Speech 100, of course. And then this little section in the middle that says newspaper and study, that's time dedicated to reading the newspaper and studying for Professor Taylor's speech quizzes. Because during week 1, I had realized that I suck at the quizzes, so this is my adjustment for that. After I put in my school schedule, I can now put in my work schedule. I work at Disneyland. I'm a supervisor and lead in some of the restaurants there, so I'll put that in. And then my special event for the week is a Clippers basketball game on Wednesday. And then my to-do list starts with my laundry on Monday night, and then working out on Monday and Wednesday. Whoops. There we go. So now that I have my plan set out for the week, it's now time for me to move to the second part of using a planner, which is actually putting my plan into action and going through my week. Now, it's important to remember that as I go through my week on a day-by-day process, I remember to write any change or any nuance that I have that I did not plan for. So, of course, I start on Sunday. Everything goes according to plan. I go to work, which now brings me to Monday morning. So it turns out that since it's week 2, introductions are finished, and we actually head in the pool and we swim at 6 o'clock in the morning where it's super cold. By the end of class, I'm a little bit tired, which is expected, and then I managed to read the newspaper after, and then after that, I head to step aerobics, where I'm faced with the first surprise of the semester, which is step aerobics is hardcore. It's hardcore to the point where after the class, I'm super exhausted and I'm super tired. And that, in turn, instead of working out right when I get home, I actually knock out on my couch for the next 3 hours. That is a big roadblock. Which then forces my workout to be pushed down to a later time on Monday, and then laundry, of course, gets pushed down to a later time as well. Now it brings me to Tuesday. On Tuesday, I study and I read the newspaper and I take the Speech 100 quiz. However, I managed to do poorly again. So far my adjustment from week 1 is not going as well as I would hope. I finished my Tuesday with work, and that brings me to Wednesday. Now Wednesday follows the same pattern as Monday, with me going to swimming, me feeling a little bit tired, and then me reading the newspaper, and then finally going to step aerobics class where, again, I find out that step aerobics is a lot more hardcore than I had previously imagined. And that, again, results into me, again, knocking out for 3 hours on my couch instead of working out. So instead, I moved my workout time to later on that day, and luckily I still have time to go to the Clippers game that night, where they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, woot woot. And then that brings me to now Thursday, where again I study, I read the newspaper, and this time I again fail. Turns out my adjustment from week 1 did not pan out, and I'm still doing poorly on the quizzes. So my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all go according to plan, except for on Saturday evening, I find myself a little bit stressed because I'm still trying to figure out how to balance my time between all my obligations. So with that, I now begin week 3. Or now I'm at the beginning of week 3. There we go. So now that I finished the action part of my process of how to use a planner, it's now time for the last step, which is reflection. Now the first step in reflection is for me to recap on my week and remember any changes or nuances that I did not plan for. The first being me, of course, knocking out for 3 hours on Mondays and Wednesdays after my step aerobics class. Next is me still doing poorly on the speech quizzes, and then finally on Saturday evening, me feeling a little bit stressed, or more stressed than I would have liked. So now that I've recapped my week, it's time to make the necessary changes. So instead of knocking out being some random occurrence that I didn't plan for, the next week I'll actually set time aside to knocking out, and that will be part of my to-do list. Concerning my speech quiz scores, to help me improve, I realized that I need to dedicate more time to studying and reading the newspaper, so I'll do that on Friday and Sunday. And then concerning my my stress levels on Saturday evening after I work, I realize I'm going to need to dedicate more time to myself, more Marvin time, if you will. So I'll do that by playing guitar, which in the past has always relaxed me and has always recentered me. So and lo and behold, I now have my plan for week 3. So this process of making a plan for a week, putting that plan into action, and then at the end of the week, reflecting on those actions, is a process that will continue for the rest of the semester, with each week having a new plan based on the changes that need to be made from the previous week. So now that I've finished the reflection portion of the planning process, I now have actually finished demonstrating how I organize my time efficiently and effectively by, of course, using a planner. Because specifically, first, I set out a plan for week 2 with all the obligations that I wanted to do, and then I put that plan into action by going through my week, and then at the end of the week, I managed to reflect in order to make a better and hopefully more successful plan for the following week. So, if that day ever comes where as a college student you're able to make one more wish, I hope you don't waste that wish by asking for more time, because I believe we already have all the time we need. Instead, we just have to put that time in a planner. Thank you.